You just are under pressure. You crumble like a house of cards.
Try.
I mean, isn't that the best way to improvise? Tears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh boy, you're never gonna guess. Oh boy, you are not gonna guess how many. Oh pal, this is gonna be pretty great. We've got, let's see, one, to the, oh wow. I mean, this is really good. All right, we're almost done. We're almost live.
Okay.
Oh, boom. We've got one, two, three. Whoa. 45. Yeah, 45 suggestions, man. So pick a number 1 to 45.
Well, my favorite number is five.
Perfect. One, two, three, four. The suggestion comes from Michael, and it's I need to stop that wedding. Thanks, Michael. You gonna say something, or are you just gonna let her get married?
I need to stop that wedding.
Well, get
I
up.
need
I
to
mean,
stop that wedding. I
now's the this is the part they're getting up to it where they're like, is anyone speak now? It's coming up.
I don't know, Ronnie. I don't know.
Why?
We all have a history together. You had a history with her too.
I mean, we all had histories, but like, I mean, you gotta stop it, man. It's now or never.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
be
Okay. You
now.
know, I I thought Christine was the one for a while. I
I
thought
think
she
she is still the one, Mark.
okay. I here's what I'm thinking. Here's my
Yeah,
problem. Here's why I'm a little worried about this whole
yeah.
thing is I don't know if you're saying that for you or for me.
No, I mean, I'm over her. You
Are you
never got over
are
her.
you are you over her?
Yeah, dude, I'm totally over her. What are you talking about?
I don't have a Christine tattoo.
I mean, it's kind of hard to get rid of it once you get it.
Ronnie, Ronnie, I'm thinking maybe you're the one that isn't quite over Christine.
Well, Mark, all
Look,
I
look,
know,
look, look, even now you're blushing. You're
I know
blushing. You're turning red. You are turning red right now, right in front of me. Right, your face is turning red.
one of us is
Bright red,
gonna
like
one,
beet red,
one of us is
tomato
gonna
red,
stop this. No, one of us is gonna get up.
lobster red.
Well, I'll stop it for you, but this wedding's gonna be stopped one way or the other.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm ready to marry Christine. I think that's something you want to do.
What?
I think that's something you want. Look at you. You're turning red. Right in front of me. Your face is bright red.
Dude, she's walking down the aisle now.
Oh, she is. Oh, and her dad waved to us. Did you see that?
I think I head nodded him. Maybe that's probably a sign he wants this to stop.
Oh man, if we could get him on our side.
I mean, parents love me. Parents always love me. It's the relationship that goes sour, but parents really dig me. I'm on my best behavior around parents.
I still think that you're doing this for your own reasons.
Let me ask you this, Mark. Do you think marrying Cliff is a good thing for Christine? Take us
Oh,
both
of
out of it.
course not. It's Cliff. It's Cliff. Come on, Cliff. First of all, his name is Cliff.
Right?
Okay, she's gonna fall off a cliff.
Yes, she is with him. Are you?
Have you ever in your life known a cliff that had any iota of intelligence?
Well, let's see. There's Cliff. He's average at best. There's Cliff Clavin, who's a know-it-all who doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
There's Cliff Kingsbury, who was a terrible NFL quarterback. He was in a great system in college. Terrible NFL quarterback. Terrible coach. Yeah, so
Oh,
he's not good.
Perkins. He's a nice guy.
Well, I mean, he's nice, but I
He said,
mean,
no, come on, Cliff Perkins. He would give you $10,000 if you needed it.
yeah, I mean he's a nice guy, but is he smart?
Okay, but why are we talking about Cliff Perkins anyway?
I mean, we were naming the Cliffs. That's all the. I mean, Cliff Perkins,
Okay,
Kingsbury.
hey, okay, they're down the aisle. They're already, they're, I don't know, Ronnie.
No, you do know, Mark. This is it. This isn't a movie, man. This is real life. And if she says, I do, that's it. You can't go back.
Okay. I'm not really sure what I'm going to say. I mean, I love her, I think, but I think you love her more than I do.
Speak from your heart. That's all you gotta do, Mark, is just speak from your heart. Speak now or forever hold your peace. You get and speak. And here, if you get embarrassed, you don't know what to do and you leave, I'll be with you. I'll walk out of here with you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not sure I believe you, Ronnie.
No. I mean, let's think. First of all, she invited us to the wedding, so there might be a small part of her that says that she's hoping one of us stands up and objects to the wedding. Maybe that's what she's looking for. Like, why else would we be invited?
You think?
I mean, I wasn't even going to come. And then when you said you were coming, I'm like, all right, I'm going to show up. But like, what's the point of me being here?
Okay, I'm almost on the verge of standing up, man. If you don't stop me, I don't know.
I'm not going to stop you. Go, Mark, go.
Wait, not yet. I mean, they're still, talking. The priest is still talking.
Would you ever get married in a church? I don't think I could.
No, I don't think I would. No, not the second time.
No. Yeah. Do you feel like, are you okay coming into churches for weddings? Does it trigger something in you?
Yeah, yes, it triggers something.
Wow, you look like you're just in a different place right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It is Christine though.
If you walk out of this church and you look back on this in a week, a year, 5 years, would you have rather said nothing? Or would you rather stood up and told this whole church how you feel, her included? And then it's like no matter what, you have no regrets at that point. Or would you rather just sip it, not say anything? Go, Mark, go.
I object. Ronnie wants to marry you.
Hi. Christine, I think Cliff's a nice guy. I think you're making a complete mistake. I think if I didn't say this now, I'm never going to get a chance to say it. I think of all the people you could marry, Mark or me would make better candidates than Cliff.
And Christina, I don't know if you know this, but Utah recently re-legalized polygamy.
You want us to leave?
Okay.
I mean, that's fair.
Okay.
Sorry.
I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Yeah, you're both great, very nice people, and
Christine, you're as beautiful as
yes.
you've ever been. That dress really does something for you. Your hair has never been poofier.
Yeah.
So,
Cliff, I mean, that's a great, very smart suit there. It's very classic. It's a good choice rather than a tuxedo.
Very bristly mustache.
Yeah, it's look, I got to say one more thing. I'm truly sorry. I completely misread the room. I thought this was like you would see in the movies, and I would stand up, and Christine, you would come down, and I'd pick you in my arms, and we'd leave. However,
I told you you were the one. You wanted her.
It's true. I'm not going to argue. I thought you were still not over her, and it turns out oh my goodness, it's mine, and I've made a complete blunder right now and misread the room. I can see myself out. Please go back. You're crying now, Christine. You're crying. This turned out a lot worse than I thought in my head. I thought you would really. Again, I'm babbling. I'm just gonna go up. Cliff. Oh, Cliff, you're crying now too.
Oh, Cliff. Oh,
Can we? Why don't you come back in? I'm gonna go. Mark, you can. I don't know if you want to go or not, but
I'm going. I'm going wherever you're going. I'm going right
we're
now.
we're just gonna head out now. We want to say thank you so much for
Thank you.
love. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse us.
Thank you. Sorry.
Sorry. Excuse us. Excuse us. Sorry. Sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Excuse us. Sorry. Sorry. Excuse it. Pardon me. Pardon me. Excuse us. Sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse us. Excuse us. Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Excuse us. Sorry. Excuse. Sorry.
Sorry.
Scene. Yeah. Ah, Jack, man, you're the best, dude. You are so fun.
It's so fun performing with you again.
I, the first time I ever performed with you was like I talked to Micah Philbrook about it. It was like a bucket list of like, I got to get on stage with Jack. And it was so fun, man. Do you remember the first scene we ever did? No, how could you?
I don't remember the first thing we did.
We were exotic dancers
Oh yeah.
on tables in the Damat, but we were talking about the meaning of life. And we were pole dancing, and it was.
Gyrating. Yeah. Yeah. I do remember that. That was fun.
Oh, like it was, you get up there and like the other thing that I love about you is you didn't wear shoes on stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's something comfortable with that. Well, there's several reasons for that. One of which I just love feeling the stage, but
Mm.
also it's a temperature control thing. I'm a sweater. I sweat,
Yeah.
so it helps, But there's also something good about feeling the stage. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how many lights. There could be like one, like right now I've got one light in this room and I will sweat.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It gets so hot.
I'm in my socks right now, so.
Me too. In celebration of you, I'm wearing just socks. How did you get into improv?
I started at a place in Chicago called the Improv Institute, which was
Hmm.
started by Michael Michalski, who was Jeff Michalski's older brother.
Still is.
Yeah, still is. He was an ex-cop, and he started a little improv theater, and that's where I started. And John is an excellent teacher. John's an excellent improv teacher. And so after that, I started taking more classes. I started taking acting classes. I got into SAG-AFTRA, so I've been doing acting and voiceover and stuff. But the Improv Institute, and after a while, John moved to California, and there was a while there where Pat Musker, my wife, and I ran the place. So that was fun. It was a fun few years.
Well, you're being a little modest because for people who don't know, the Improv Institute, there were very few improv places in Chicago back in the day. And the Improv Institute was one of those few places where you can get up and perform, and it was like a precursor to I.O. and the Annoyance and places like that. Before that, there was the Improv Institute.
Well, the I.O. was there. But they were just a shadow of what they would eventually become. They had several spaces. They worked in Cross Currents, which was a space under the L tracks on Belmont, Chicago. So it was Second City, us, and the I.O. and that was it basically. And yeah, while we had the theater, Ross Gottstein was important in that, and Amy Hartle, Brad Sherman, Evan Gore, Mark Chosky, Phil Lusardi. So there are a bunch of people that you know, good improvisers came through that place. It was a really fun place.
And lots of people like didn't Carell at some point do a show there, or there were like a lot of people that had played that
Yeah,
stage.
Rick Hall was a good friend of ours, and so he and
Oh,
Laura would come by and perform a lot. Mark Belden would perform. Will Klinger would come by. So we had I mean, for a while there we had a good thing going, and yeah.
and it's funny you talk about John Michalski. I saw him. I was giving notes to to a group in Santa Monica, and after a show, and this guy pulls up, and I'm like, John, and it's John Michalski. He pops out. He gives my group like 4 or 5 bullet point, bam, 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 of how to be a great improviser, and then gets in his car and just drives away.
He's that kind of guy.
It was like it was like he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, that's John.
Oh,
Yeah, John is like that, and he also he's still working. He's in his 70s now, and he still works as he works for Santa Monica as a ranger of like yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So,
He
so
also another guy. I get a group of improvisers together, out here in LA, and he's played the show. Like Jeff and Jane have played the show as well, and Bernadette Burkett has played the show. But like John came and played this show and was just like really good. Like, I mean, you expect it, but then you watch somebody who I think who has a certain amount of years, the desperation kind of melts away and you just are just like more comfortable on stage. And you're one of those people where it's like it just looks effortless when people watch you, and it's talent, but also it's you've done enough scenes where you don't hold each scene precious.
well, and there really are no consequences. What are the consequences when you mess up an improv scene? None. There's nothing. So like what after a while you realize, oh, if I mess up, if I say something wrong, I'll just fix it. You know.
I I'll never forget. I asked you to my. I had a student who wanted to read a short scene they wrote, and they're like, "I'd like to get somebody with an Irish who could do an Irish accent." So I remember I reached out to you, and you said, "I go, hey, can you read this? They're looking for a character with an Irish accent," and you said, "What county?" And I was like, well, and it changed my view on dialects because there are very regional dialects all over, and too many times we do like a blanket dialect, and it's like, no, 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 there are very specific regional dialects, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah, I love doing dialect. Well, it also helped that we had developed a show that has been running for like 25 years now, 26 years. Flanagan's Wake, which was an Irish show, and it depended on people knowing how to do basically a Western dialect of Irish. So, so that helped.
I
Um,
mean, that show was, yeah, it's huge, and it's still going, like, and it plays different places, and
nothing's going right now.
well, yeah.
Nothing is going.
Well,
So, but yeah, it's been a success. And that's great.
how are you finding like the on teaching virtually? I mean, when all this hit, we had really no choice. Are you finding that you're still like enjoying it, and it just took a little bit of an adjustment, or
Yes, I enjoy it. I don't know that I enjoy it as much as being in
yeah,
I had the good fortune of running into some of my students about a couple weeks ago. Like they were a couple blocks from my house. They were practicing outside. So I went and taught them for a while without taking any pay, of course. So that was great. That was fun, you know. Um, but I'm adjusting to Zoom. It's interesting.
I mean, it's right now it's kind of the only thing we got, right?
Yeah, it is the only thing we got. Yeah, I know. So, yeah, I'm curious what you are gonna do in the future? Are you gonna do more of these? Or are you gonna, yeah,
Oh, dude, I think more of them. I think also exploring the possibilities of what can be done in combination with bringing it to the stage. Can you combine the technology? Can you do use it on stage? Can you, can you? Because this is now we're reaching a global audience, and now you can teach and work with people all around the world. So that's very exciting to me. Is like, oh, I can reach more people doing this. I mean, our first love obviously is that stage and hearing the applause, and you can't, it's hard to replicate that energy of a theater, but Lord knows, I think they're going to get close pretty quick now when everything's shut down. I think there are minds working on, okay, do we bring, and I've done a couple shows where you bring people in to your Zoom and you go, okay, you're going to keep your cameras off, but we're going to have your mics on so we hear your laughter or try to get suggestions. So I think it's kind of in a way the wild, wild west of let's figure it out. Nobody's done it yet, so let's just figure out how can this work. And I think there are advances happening very quickly, but I think it's like improvising a little bit for like if you would do it on TV or film in a little comparison there because it's to a camera, you're not like with that person online, but
like kind of like acting to a green screen.
yeah, yeah, and if I have a chance between like, oh, you and I can hop on and do a scene virtually or not do a scene at all, I'd rather do this and it's the whole reason I do improv is to play with friends and meet new people and have new friends. And so if this affords me that chance, I'm like, oh, I'm all for it. So until things get back to more relying on the stage, like who knows? It's definitely not this year it's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been fun, and I just can't wait to get back up on stage. I can't wait.
I mean, for
I,
sure.
while we're talking, I'm sort of thinking about scenes that we've done, and there was just some sort of magical moments that happened when we would improvise together. I don't know if you're, I mean, I saw on your website that photo of us singing as we were rowing the boat, right? I mean,
You and Edmund?
yeah, that happened organically. Or the human pyramid we once made on stage. That just happened, and like we didn't know it was going to happen, and all of a sudden we're doing a human pyramid, and there's Kimmy on the top, and you know.
I mean, those shows when it was like you, me, Reome, Kimmy, Micah, and then like people would stop in and play every now and then, but like we had a nice core group that every Tuesday, it was after our class, we would get there and do those faculty jams, and you would have students come in. They would kind of hold you accountable, and then I'd always get the question about like, hey, what you say not to do this? Why does Scott Goldstein break that rule? And it's like, oh, because he can, and we, it's part of this, and we know how to do it, and but it was like the most fun show I had playing in Chicago for sure was that faculty jam.
Yeah, and it's Scott Goldstein, so he gets to do what he wants.
I had a hard time until I understood how to play with him, and once I got how to play with him, it became so much fun, and it that moment changed for me when he and I were playing in we were a father son playing a basketball game on stage, and we really started going at it. Like we really took it seriously, and that to me like turned the corner of like what our on-stage relationship was, and I have no problem playing with him.
Yeah,
I enjoy his
I
company.
have to say, I like playing with the rules. Sometimes, and I think like sometimes, for example, Kevin, our buddy Kevin Reome. I think sometimes I would bother him because I would sort of like I remember specifically he would do some stage painting or something, and then I'd like sort of call him out on it, like I don't know why Mike keeps coming in here and pointing out the things we already know. you know, which is the improvisers sort of playing with the rules.
Well, but also you wouldn't do that. You do that because you know Kevin, right?
Right.
You
Yeah.
do, and that's the fun that we
Yeah.
have to get back. No, you get it early on when you first start taking classes. Then you might lose it a little bit, but then at the end, it's like, oh, part of this is watching us bust each other's chops in whatever way possible, and knowing that that person can handle it.
Well, and like you tell your students, it's about learning the rules so that you can eventually break them. You want to break the rules. Comedy is subversive.
Yeah.
Following rules, it's about breaking rules. So break those rules, you know. But first, you got to know what they are.
Yeah. And then find, the other thing is find your group. Find the group that you get, like whoever you jive with, like find that group and do your thing, whatever it is for that group. Find your vibe and then do it with those people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you see that. I mean, there are different, all sorts of. There's a troupe now in Chicago that does, improvise Dungeons and Dragons, and that's just, it's that sort of stuff. Yeah.
What? First off, long overdue, buddy. There are.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know if I was the impetus, but a lot of them came from a class that I did where it was that, where it was, okay, today we're just doing leprechauns and elves and trolls and whatever. So, yeah. So it's been an interesting time.
If people want to reach out to you to follow what you're doing, or I mean, you're a great director and coach and actor, and what's the best way for them to do that?
I'm on Facebook, Jack Bronis, and that's probably the easiest way to reach me.
Oh, dude, you're the best. You're one of my favorites, man. I love you, brother, and we will talk soon. Thanks, pal.
Thank you, Jay.
See ya.